Hey guys, Peter here to give you the rundown, the down low of Toronto's At the Gates Slaughter of the Soul North American tour stop. There's still a few more tour stops to go, and they're on the road with Municipal Waste and Enforced. Unfortunately, in Toronto, Enforced was unable to play because At the Gates had some issues crossing the border, which pushed them to arrive really late at the venue, and because of that, there was no time to fit in their set, and we were left without Enforced. Now, the band was there, they were selling merch, and everybody was buying merch, trying to support the band because they weren't able to perform. But let's face the facts, we all left with a little bit of a sour taste in our mouth, but I don't think anybody's more disappointed than the band themselves. We'll just have to wait for the next time that they play Toronto so we can get that vibe, we can get that energy live. I'm dying to see these guys live, so I just have to put that on the back burner and wait. But I cannot deny that I was very disappointed with this state of affairs. It's just something that's out of the control of every single band on the tour, and like I said earlier, you just have to make the best out of it. So the evening started off with Municipal Waste. The best way to describe these guys is that a dick on Viagra. I mean, that shit was hard for 40 to 45 minutes. Absolutely insanity, mayhem, destruction, violence, whatever you want to fucking call it. The set list killed, the show destroyed. They just went on a freaking rampage. And I love the fact that their songs are short, so they can pack a lot of tracks in a very short time period. I think if you give them 2.5 hours, you can probably put in their entire discography. So really enjoyable set. They played outstanding tonight. Great sound, great performance, super energetic. Last time I saw them, actually every single time I've seen Municipal Waste has been at a festival, so this was my first time seeing them in a smaller venue, in a more intimate and interactive way, and I wasn't disappointed. I mean, the crowd was lit, the crowd surfing was insane. They were the band of the night as far as crowd surfing is concerned. It was, you lose count of how many people were going over the rail. It's just absolute mayhem. Everybody was having a great time. The band was having a great time. The fans were having a great time. They just put on a great set. Great way to start off the evening, and perhaps making us forget a little bit about the fact that we didn't have Enforced. But the band was really cool about letting everybody know what went on in the evening, and also to make sure that people knew to go and pick up some merch and try to help out a band that really needs everybody's assistance. I mean, every band these days that are on tour need everybody's assistance. But I really appreciate these bands that have a higher billing taking their time to remind folks that there are bands at the lower end of the scale that really need your support, specifically when they couldn't even play the show, even though they made it to the venue. Then after that comes At the Gates Slaughter of the Soul North American Tour. And a few things to say here. First of all, I wasn't really sure what the set list was going to be all about. I knew they were going to play the album from start to finish, but I was wondering if it was going to be just the album. It wasn't. It was almost like they had two different set lists. One, a little bit of the greatest hits, a little bit of everything, if you will, or as much as possible of everything, and then obviously Slaughter of the Soul from start to finish, giving you this feeling of two eras of At the Gates. Now, as far as set list is concerned, I don't think you could have asked for anything that they didn't deliver. The set lists were more than what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting just to get the album from start to finish. They threw in even more songs, so I got a lot more than what I was hoping for. I also like the fact that they put the newer tracks, or the more mix of newer songs with older songs, together at the beginning, and then finish off the night with Slaughter of the Soul. I think that was the perfect setup if you are on this kind of tour, if you are labeling the tour as a Slaughter of a Soul North American tour for the anniversary of the record. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I really enjoyed that setup. It worked really well. Now, as far as the band is concerned, first of all, I want to say that they had a fill-in guitarist, Daniel Martinez from Atheist, which I actually saw already this year perform with Atheist, so when they were on tour with Suffocation. He's a phenomenal guitar player, so he was the fill-in guitar player, and he absolutely rips. What an incredible guitar player. Like I said, I saw him with Atheist on that Suffocation tour. I enjoy his guitar playing on that tour, on that show. I was taken back by how good he was, but to be able to fill in and play the set list that he played with At the Gates, kudos to this guy. He is a rising star as far as guitar players are concerned. I really hope if you're going to one of the shows, pay attention to this kid, because he is an incredible guitar player. He did phenomenally. He filled in some massive shoes, like those big ass clown shoes. I'm not saying that the other person is a clown. I'm just saying the size of the shoes, like this Shaquille O'Neal size shoe. Just absolutely incredible performance by him, and I want to enhance that. I want to bring it up because sometimes a lot of these details get forgotten when you go to a show and you see the overall performance, and you're like, you expect him to play guitar and do his thing, but I wasn't expecting him to be this good, to be this tight for such a set list. The other person that I want to mention is Adrian the Drummer. We always talk about guitar players, we always talk about the lead singers, because they are the people in the forefront. The drummer and the bass player are normally very often forgotten, but I want to say that Adrian is an outstanding drummer. I've seen this band multiple times. I never really paid as much attention to the drumming as I did on this show, perhaps because of the setup of the stage. This time around I had a better view, I had a better angle, I was able to betterly digest his performance, and he is a beast. There's no other way to describe it. Phenomenal. This guy is an absolute monster. I already knew that because I've also been listening to the band, and I'm not deaf. I obviously can hear the work that he puts in, record in and record out. But to see him live and finally having an opportunity to really pay attention to his work, to what he was doing, I was blown away by everything that he did on the evening. I don't know how he does it day in and day out, putting that much intensity, that much aggression, that much power in his performance. The dude is a legend. The dude is an absolute monster, like I said. Now, overall, this was perhaps the heaviest at the gates performance that I've ever seen. I've seen them several times, different venues, different circumstances. You know, they're always heavy. Now, you could say, oh, they're playing Slaughter of the Soul. Of course, it's going to sound super heavy. No, even the other material, even the earlier set list sounded super heavy. So this is the heaviest sound I have heard from At the Gates live, without a shadow of a doubt. And it had a very strong impact. Everything was very powerful. Everything was very rugged. Everything was very thick, from guitars to bass to drums, and then the vocals over the top, that piercing approach vocally that just cuts through, making this a very heavy evening of metal. At the Gates was at their heaviest tonight at the Danforth. I really would like to hear from you guys that either attended shows on this tour or are planning to attend shows on this tour. What are your thoughts on that heaviness? Because like I said, I've heard them live many times before. They never came across as heavy as they came tonight. Magnificent performance. I couldn't have asked for a better evening. Well, I could have, and Force could have played 30 minutes. But anyways, that's a different story for a different day. So I really enjoyed the night. Municipal Waste kicked ass, and At the Gates were prime At the Gates, vintage At the Gates, if you will. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys at the next video.